Welcome to the Investor Financing Podcast, where we interview real estate investors and lenders so you can learn all the secrets to getting your projects funded and scale your portfolio. Learn about fix and flip loans, BRRRR financing, rental, fix to rent, commercial, multifamily bridge loans, business loans, and so much more. And now, your host, Beau Eckstein.
Basically, Phil started in real estate investing in 2010, but before that, he was in the United States Navy as a naval special warfare combat craft crewman.
Wow.
While he enjoyed jumping out of, yes, it is. While he enjoyed jumping out of airplanes and shooting machine guns and practicing small unit tactics with Navy SEALs and other special operations command operators, he realized in that his first purchase that real estate was something he had a passion for. And so I think that's pretty, you have a really amazing background. And I see you, are you teaching people how to jump out of airplanes too for fun still?
So it's funny that you asked that. When I separated from the military, I wanted to get into real estate, and you know, everyone has this false illusion that you have to take the incremental approach and, you know, get like the prerequisites. So I thought the best way to do that was to become a real estate agent. Very quickly, I found out that, you know, you didn't actually have to be doing brokerage. It was the people that actually bought and controlled real estate were the ones that were becoming wealthy, not the ones that were doing transactions. And Vinny can, you know, talk for 7 days about that. So, totally. You know, I'm very humbled to be on the show with you, Vinny.
I appreciate that.
I love learning from you, and I'm gonna look forward to seeing you at Dealmaker with Michael next week for sure. But to your question, Beau, I was still operating as a real estate agent, and an indoor skydiving facility opened up in my town here in Virginia Beach. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go apply to see if I can moonlight there, because it sounds awesome. Yeah. And, you know, when I went in, they had the application test at a local gym, because it's a fairly, you know, physically demanding job. And it turns out that the Navy SEAL who was my boss in the military was actually the manager of the indoor skydiving center. He said, "You again?" I said, "Wow." In this case, the new boss literally is the old boss. How does this happen? So anyway, I enjoyed teaching, you know, civilians and some of my military brothers how to do indoor skydiving and learn how to fly a lot better for 3 years when they opened. And, you know, at a certain point, my portfolio was getting to a place that I had to make the right business decision. I can go do things I want to do for fun whenever I want, but to be there, even in a part-time capacity, was too taxing. So I stepped away from there, and then, you know, it was a great experience. I really enjoyed it, but real estate is my passion. Having a lot of fun here. Really enjoy sharing that I've learned, some hard lessons with folks that are trying to get into the game, and like I said, scaling up my portfolio, providing for my partners, my limited partners, and like you two, just trying to get the word out that anyone can do this. We're not special guys. You know, look at Vinny's story. I mean, it's incredibly inspiring. Showed up with $7. Did I get that right? $7. $7. What's your, you know what I mean? And I'm just a knuckle dragger, enlisted in the military, got out and figured it out. You know, the ultimate resource is resourcefulness. You have to be willing to bang your head against the wall a few times and, you know, eventually bust your way through it or get around it or some kind of way. In this business, a lot of people just, the first obstacle, they quit. See, it doesn't work. That's
my gosh, Phil, you hit it, man. Let me take you up on that. You know, as you started in 2010 or so, right? Or 12, right? What made you change your focus from that? And like you said, you became a realtor, I think, right? I became a broker in 2005, and I knew And my wife and I even got the license, and we got stationaries, we got all these things all printed. $10,000 we spent, right? And we were going to open up a shop to sell and buy homes.
Mhm.
And one night I had that dream. I said, you know what? I don't want this. I do not want this. It's great for a lot of people, but not for me. That was the time I really, really respect. That next day, we threw everything in the garbage. Everything. We said $10,000, it doesn't matter. I mean, we were going to write a lease to open up the office. I canceled everything. I said, you know what? I've taken drastic steps in my life, and they have been the best steps in my life. See? And that's what I want people to really understand. Opportunity knocks you. You do all the research, but if you don't act on it, it's going to go by the wayside. And that's what I'm going to teach people. I'm teaching right now. There will be enormous opportunities coming right here in the next 16 months to 2 years to 3 years. A lot of belly ups are going to go up here. People who have bought wrong multifamilies, they don't have the strength, and the delinquencies going higher, concessions, and then evictions, moratoriums are being lifted now. There's a lot of toxic, I call it toxic, on the P&Ls, on the rent rolls. So there'll be great opportunities coming. But the thing is, when we make a decision for the right reasons, which is multifamily, what you did. So tell us, how did you get into multifamily then?
By accident.
Yeah.
So this was the progression. Like I said, I was under this false assumption that you had to have prerequisites. So real estate agent. Then I started working with a guy who was flipping houses, and I saw that he was making 10 times as much as me on the HUDs. So I said, how do I do this? He wouldn't help me. So I figured it out myself. Flipping houses, flipped maybe 3-4 dozen, close to 40 houses in my career between, I guess, 2014 and 18, 17, that range. And, it's great when you're a flipper. Get a check for $25,000, $50,000, $10,000, whatever. And you go and you spend it, right? Because that's what we're taught to do. So I took a friend of mine to a 13-unit apartment building. Actually, it wasn't even apartment buildings, 4 duplexes, a triplex, and a couple single families on a few parcels that were attached. I said, hey, buddy, I think this is for you. You own a lot of small multis. Let me get this commission. And they could make a deal. So the other broker contacted me and said, hey, he'll do seller financing. I said, oh, okay. So I take it back to my buddy and I said, they'll do seller financing. He says, I don't care. I have my own money. So I reported back to the broker that he didn't care about his seller financing. He said, well, do you know anyone that would buy it with seller financing? I said, no, I guess not. He's like, would you, or I don't think I said that. I said, would he sell it to me? It didn't even occur to me, it didn't even occur to me. So would he sell it to me? He said, sure. Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So I hopped into this thing. I made about every mistake that you could dream of, from due diligence to rent roll analysis to just everything was a mess, right? But the rents kept coming in.
Yes.
So I was paid to get an education, and I had to get this thing figured out. And the light bulb just at that point just illuminated everything. I said, wait a second. If I can do this times 13, I own a couple single families. If I can do this, now I got 15, what's next? And so the next deal I did was 108. And at that point, it was game on. I got that one at such a basis that in 18 months, my partners and I created a little over $3 million in equity.
Wow.
Big.
That's success. That's great.
At that point, I was just completely hooked. So went on, bought some small little 20 plexes, 30 plexes, 64 and 18. And now there's a 104 unit that I'm sitting in the leasing office as we speak. I actually moved in.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because if you're going to be renovating 50 units, somebody's got to look at it. A lot of people think,
that's right.
A lot of my students think that you can just rely on a property manager for everything.
No.
Maybe you can, right?
Yeah.
Let's play that game. Maybe you can, but what are you leaving on the table? Because nothing in this life is for free. So I said, okay, let me move in and let me make sure that this is awesome. and we are absolutely crushing it amidst of COVID and everything. It doesn't matter.
I love it.
We got another 92 under contract. Looking at a few smaller ones next week, 30 to 39. So just going to keep just tagging them and bagging.
I love it. I love it. I love it. What a great story. Hold on. I mean, this is going to be inspiring to those people who are watching us now and those who will watch us later on too, because that's what people need. People need to really find that it's doable.
Totally.
It's not rocket science, It's just that you are getting into, once you burn your bridges or whatever. A lot of people are in the W2 job. I know I was too when I started in this business 14 years back. But I found time not watching TV or anything. I would immerse myself learning this art of syndication, which we will talk about in a little bit, because other people's money, there is trillions of dollars of money all around us. And we could really give them great returns and make them equity partners in our business. And that's what it's all about through SEC ruling, which is the best watchdog in the whole world, because that keeps people true, transparent, and very communicative with all the investors, accredited or sophisticated investors, through legal paperwork and everything. And you have to meet with and provide reports, and the investors can go to your properties, they can ask for anything and everything, all those kind of things, right? So no, that's fabulous. Wow. So what's in store? What's COVID done to you? Let me talk about that. To your assets, what has it done to your, in the last 3 months, 3.5, 4 months?
So it depends on the asset.
Okay.
Fortunately, it seems like everyone's fears that there would be a, what's the right way to describe this? I guess like a rent strike really materialized in most areas. So the majority of my assets are solid C.
Okay,
C minus, right? So
yeah.
Good working folks. And some of them have had job interruptions. So communication is key on the front end. Hey, totally. How are you doing? Totally. Are you okay? How can we help?
Yeah.
Late fees are off the table. We just want to make sure that you're good. And that's worked across 250 of the
yes.
64 of them are a D.
Okay.
And our friend Andrew Cushman has a nice saying.
Okay.
Andrew. You look at something on a spreadsheet and you look at these D properties, they look like they're going to be great. They're 10 caps. They're, you know what I mean? You get them at a great basis, a 2% roll, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But Andrew says that the grass is always greener over the septic tank.
Yeah,
so
that's
I'm learning that the hard way on our 64 unit D class. We're at a 40% economic vacancy.
Oh boy. Yeah.
But when you buy things at a great basis,
that's true.
We're breaking even. We're not stroking the check at this point.
I'm with you.
If you want to talk to your folks about stress testing, if you have a deal that goes, we're 96% physically occupied.
Okay.
And we receive, what is that? Yeah, around 63% of rent is what we've got coming in.
I see. So economic is 63.
I'd rather not quite 40. I'm trying to be dramatic over here. But it's bad, right?
Yeah.
But we're not writing a check yet. So that's a good thing. And it's just caused some interesting discussions of how do we bridge that gap. So I think I've coined this term. So I'm going to lay it on you guys here. And if you've heard it somewhere else, let me know. But my idea for what we do with those folks is to refinance their leases. Because refinance their leases.
Yes, okay.
So we got this at a great basis, $26,000 a door. And the in-place rents when we bought it were around $525. Our pro forma is $675, and we've renovated 30 units so far at that $675 number.
Got it.
So what I'm thinking is the ones that we haven't yet, if they're 2 months behind at 550 or whatever, 575, we say, okay, we know times are tough. Like, we're not trying to put you out on the street because that's going to be a disaster for everyone. It's not good for society.
Surely.
Why don't we make your rent? We're gonna forget about the 2 months that you're back, and we're going to make your rent $650 up from $550, and we'll call it water under the bridge. So essentially, we're getting our NOI up, but we didn't swing a hammer on those units.
I see. That's interesting. That's interesting. Just to clarify.
Refinancing leases. That's what I'm calling.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting term, to be truthful. What you're doing is mutually you're breaking the lease, which is they have already signed up and 4 months are left or 6 months are left, for example. You're re-signing the lease with higher rent, But you're right. Yeah. I think you may have to check into the jurisdiction of the counties and all, and talk to real estate. I'm sure you have talked to
not an attorney, not giving legal advice, but it's something that
you should actually, because you don't want any of the residents coming back. How about if they couldn't keep up with that one, the new one, then they could say that, I didn't know the whole ramifications or something. I'm just thinking out loud. What we have done, on the other hand, Phil, is that we have tagged on the money that they lost. We lost for 2 months with few tenants. We divide them into the next rest of the months of the leases. So now it increased their lease amount by few dollars. That's how we have done, But there are different ways. Another way we have done, and I've heard, is paying cash for the keys. You might have heard about that. Yeah.
I've done that a couple of
instances. Totally, But no, this is a great idea. I mean, if you can reassign or refinance, you said, or some new word, which is great. If legally we can do it, that's a good thing to do. This way, we are helping. And the biggest trouble also is right now moratorium by the state and by the county and by the cities to not let people go out. So that has been really hurtful to a lot of owners like you and I and Beau also, where people, residents who could afford to pay you, they don't want to pay you because they heard on the media and everything, hey, we don't have to pay the rent and the landlords cannot do anything about it. So that's been kind of sad how it all came down, and we are the most powerful nation in the world, but it's been very disheartening is the word, and I'm saying that on the recorded channel here, broadcasted, that how badly the PPP was handled, how badly coronavirus tests were handled, the kits were handled, and all that stuff, right? But we can look back. I mean, we can look today and then to future. I always believe that. And I think, I did a show yesterday about the coronavirus cases on assisted living, and it's amazing how many millions we are testing every day. So we are doing more testing and more positive people are coming out also because of more tests. And then beaches being open and this and that and shutting down is happening again. But no, thank you for sharing that with the COVID. Beau, I'm going to give you the stage, man, so that you could ask Phil. I apologize. I've been kind of hogging all his time here.
No, this is great.
Yeah, no, I'm always learning, so I don't mind just listening. Sometimes I'll talk, but I guess going through all these interviews that we've interviewed people over in my real estate group and the Vinny and Beau show, and learning from Vinny and things, and there's like a natural progression of real estate investors, right? Like you got to start. It seems like the average investor is going to start in the C and D class properties because that's where you can make the biggest compression value add. Yeah. But if you ask Vinny now, Vinny wouldn't buy a C class property unless I begged him maybe and to help me out, right? Because it's so much more heavy lifting.
It is.
Whereas the up and coming investors, right, and the investors that need to create that net worth, they have to start there. But I guess the question I ask Phil is, going back, what would you change going back, or would you change nothing at all in your investing business?
Everything happens kind of when it's supposed to. I had one of my LPs in this property yesterday because, like Vinny said, we're offering people an opportunity to come alongside us, right? But some of them want to learn too. They want to be the next Vinny.
Yeah,
the gentleman wants to be the next Vinny. So he said, hey, could I get on your calendar? Could I come in? Could we go for a tour? Et cetera, et cetera. And absolutely happy to do it. So it's the universe. It's serendipity. It's whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
He's working, fairly stressful job, 26 years old, goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, basically he's having some blackout issues and just not feeling well. The doctor says, you use cocaine? And he says, no. And the doctor says, be honest. And he says, no. He said, okay, then I'm sorry to tell you, you've had a heart attack. 26. And so they cut him open and they fixed what's wrong. It's a genetic defect. But it got him thinking about life and mortality. So at that point, he, wants to do real estate. Hops on, just starts searching randomly for podcasts. Finds a podcast that features one of my partners for this deal that I'm sitting in. And he actually knew this guy from before he left the job to be a real estate investor. Hadn't spoken to him in like years. But he calls him up. He's like, hey, can you how does this work? I heard you on Joe Fairless's podcast, is what it was. Best ever. And I said, you didn't hear mine? He said, hang on, we'll get there. I said, all right. So, he contacts this guy and he said, well, we know each other. We're actually doing a 506B offering because it's not accredited. Come on in. And at that point, he wants to do a little due diligence on me. So he looks me up, listens to some podcasts, whatever, is kind of taken by the trajectory that I've taken, my partner's taken, and joins another mastermind group that got me into this whole space called M1. Beau, obviously, Rob.
Oh, yeah, M1. I know, too, because I was with Go Abundance also. Yeah.
Of course. So he joins M1, and his whole life now is different because of this one event, and then searching for a podcast, lucking into the first. As soon as he turned on Joe Fairless's podcast, it's someone he knows. So it's not like he just listened and didn't do anything with it. He reached back, reestablished communications with this gentleman. And now, he's GPing with me on a 92 unit that we're closing on in a couple months.
That's awesome.
So all of that in less than a year's time. So it's amazing how quickly things can change. But I've tangented wildly, but this story was so powerful to me on how things work out. I was in the military, I was in the special ops, and that was everything I wanted to do. And then I got out and I thought real estate agenting was it, right? So then the next thing that appeared was flipping, which gave me a lot of construction experience. And then this multifamily opportunity fell into my lap. Do I wish I bought everything in 2012? Of course.
You're listening to the Investor Financing Podcast. We'll be right back after this break. Are you looking for funding? Are you getting frustrated trying to find a lender? Visit investorfinancingpodcast.com and click the Get Funding button. Complete the simple form and schedule a free phone consultation with one of our placement specialists. We have a proprietary directory of funding partners that can help you get the funding you need. It's fast and easy to explore the options available for your specific needs. Don't wait. Visit investorfinancingpodcast.com and get connected.
Everybody.
You'd be way closer to your goal of billions, Vinny.
Yeah.
Like we would have just been rolling it over for the last decade almost. But everything is unfolding for me beautifully. So, I don't think I can really change anything.
I love that, what you just said, Phil, because see, a lot of people in life, they always say, I miss this, I miss that, right? And I think it's one thing to say, when I had $7, I was happy. And when I have millions, I'm happy. The thing is, you got to really find that inside you to be happy what you have, but also have the quest and the desire and the goals and the vision board. We talk about that, to have that so that we are becoming better person every day. And that's what, it's all about. We don't want to worry about what we missed, but you're right. The big thing is you set your mind on the right path with multifamily for next 40 years. It's not going to go nowhere. Nowhere at all. Even more so now with people working from their homes, the whole style is going to change. A lot more people will be looking for B plus or C plus or, even A minus and A executives where they will have offices, right? Their apartment, Yeah, small office right there in the new constructions and things like that. And then the silver tsunami, we talk about that. Phil, I don't know if you've seen our shows, but
I
we
have.
are so fired up about silver tsunami with everything happening in this world, with so many. So that's the other show that I do on Thursdays. Vinny's always a promoter, right? And this is Beau and my show right over here. Today, we are doing it on Fridays. The exciting part is that we are helping people. If we just keep that in mind, who our customers are, these are investors who have trillions of billions, millions, trillions, billions, whatever you want to say, retirement funds. They have cash. Stock market's going up and down. I don't know what's the stock market today. I know it was down yesterday, 220 up today, right? So those kind of things. But the big thing is we could share our blueprints is the word with the equity partners. We call them equity partners because they're limited partners. They are passive partners, but they get the full effect of the taxes, the tax breaks, the cost segregation, total transparency. They are doing great in their jobs, but they can great returns they can get from you and I. So tell me more about syndication part of it. Have you really learned that big quiver in your armor, right? Because if you can raise millions of dollars, you'll be just going like berserk, right? So what's your thinking on that?
May I have your permission for a quick tangent?
Please do.
Beau's over there like, uh-oh, what's up?
No, go for it.
We love it.
So you mentioned how disheartening it was with the strategic default wave that a lot of people are. I couldn't come up with that word earlier. It's strategic default because the TV is saying not to pay the rent, whatever. Everyone hates everyone. The police are bad.
I know. Yeah.
I think we have a money problem more than we have problems that they want us to believe on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought just, getting a net worth of $1 million and some rentals that I just wanted to go sit on a beach and surf and skydive. But that's actually not true. And I don't think it's true for you guys either. I think what we're learning is, you said, who you're becoming through all these things. We need to bring people. It's selfish, actually. We need to bring people along with us on this path of financial freedom because the world is screwed up. We need more good people to have the means to reach back and to help others. So that's our responsibility. And it's the gift that syndication and these large buildings give us.
So true, Phil. You're so right about it. Thanks for expanding on that because I really believe in the core of my thinking and yours probably too, is that the more spread of the wealth we can give, and the investors who don't know that they could get these 15, 18, 17, 19% IRR, not that 2% return or 1.15%, in the checking account. I mean, there are ways to not take a lot of risks, but get the rewards without being actively involved in real estate. So that's the key thing. And not only that, I always have believed that investors are gold, our residents are gold, because apartments, if we have no residents, I never say tenants, they are not tenants, they are residents in great communities. And then our team members are gold because we are vertically integrated, right? We manage all our assets, all 4,300 doors. We have been managing and sold them quite a few, and we are buying more. I just got $35 million deal last week. 35 million in Austin, Texas. We are so excited about it. Yeah. And then we are starting 4 assisted livings next month, month after. That's almost 95 million dollar deals. Total, it just lasts next 4 months. So it'll be 35 plus 95. That's like 130 million before December is out,
You're gonna be to your goal soon, my friend. And I gotta thank you. You're the one that taught me that the words that we use matter. Residents.
Yes.
If I ever catch myself saying tenants, I fix myself.
Oh, thank
Villas,
you.
Wow.
villas. What about villas?
Villas, that's the other thing. I grew up in India. I
Yeah.
always, because of Britisher, influence before 1947, right? We got independence very young age. I mean, India is very young, 1947 to now. But villas always attracted my fantasy. So I converted all my 28 properties, 26 of them, into villas. I'll change their name and put villas in the back: Montera villas, Monk villas, terrace villas, all these kind of villas. So that's kind of nice. But the name branding is so big also. That's the other part. And I'm sure you're already thinking about it, Phil. Since you are buying so many in the same area, you might like to do the referral bonus plan. And I'll let my daughter even send it to you if you email me. It's like $250. Maybe you're already doing it, but we put all our communities in the back of this flyer, and we provide it to everybody at every community because
That is
they
smart.
know other people.
That is beautiful. That is a
So-
great idea. I'm
oh,
gonna, I'm,
good.
I'm gonna get my leasing manager on that after we wrap this up.
Awesome. Awesome.
That's an amazing idea, because normally it's just somebody says something, I'm like, ooh, let me put you over, right? And we make
Yes.
it happen. But if it's top of mind for people, that is a huge golden nugget.
And
That people
we
that are
have these
very
beautiful
specific to do.
cards. I would love to send you those. And they are from Vista Print. Very nice satin finish and everything with some graphic. And then the communities are on the back. Like I bought these, as you can see, in 2 years, 2.5 years. I bought all these, in Texas. I was syndicating every 2 months. 192 units, 156, 160, 150, 160, all that, right? So the exciting thing is that as you are managing, bringing the marketing into it, the other word which a lot of people might be watching us later on are the reviews. I give so much credibility to the reviews that we want our happy residents to come to the media center right there in the office or from their laptop, because it has to be resident, I mean different machines, I think, otherwise it won't take it. Google reviews, those people who are happy, and give them a $10 gift card or $50 gift card just to thank you for, hey, we love you, you really enjoy our community here, and would you put some good words. Those will bring you money like crazy, because people look to us reviews at apartments.com ratings, the Google reviews, then of course apartment.com, no, apartmentratings.com also is the word. And then of course Facebook page. As we grow and we develop our communities to a new renovations like you're doing it now, right? I would have, after 9 months or so, have a ribbon cutting ceremony of my properties, invite the mayor, the Better Business Bureau, the Planning Commission, all the people, the police, the chief, and everybody, and do a nice luncheon for them. And the media people will come and they will just spread the good word around. So that's another idea which, I mean, that I've done. Some people might like to look into that. I like to also put the biggest and the boldest flags at my properties. I used to get them manufactured. Well, it's a manufacturer for in Alpharetta, Georgia. They'll put like 12 or 14 flags for me in a trailer and ship it to me in Texas, from Georgia to Texas. And these are the 30-foot poles, just like the nice ones, nicest ones. When people come into the street, they see Vinnie's Communities flags in gold and silver and all. And then I'll buy 4 different types of flag combinations. So every quarter, our community changes. Yeah. All those, good things.
I,
But
I, I saw today that or yesterday that Phil actually, and I want to ask him this, is what are some of your sizzle features you're doing that kind of
yeah,
like
please.
I saw him fence in a one of his properties for a dog run, and I thought that was very creative. So why don't you
Two
dive
of
into that?
them. Tell us
Two of
about
them.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two of them, because we're on 7 acres, and I don't want people to have to walk all the way from building 13
Yeah.
across to building 1. So we're actually on a peninsula, so we're waterfront. and we did 2 dog parks. They're 80 by 100, so they're huge. And then we're
Wow.
also building, we're building like a picnic and grilling area that's waterfront, like terraced, overlooking the water. We have
Yes.
a boat launch, but this is a solid C building. So
love it.
people aren't used to getting service here. I held a July 4th cookout, and honestly, I wasn't, I was a little disappointed with the attendance. Probably only 25 people of 100 apartments.
Because of COVID also, I would say,
be masked and gloved and everything, so we were safe about it. But that could be, Vinny, you're right. But people that did show up, they were so appreciative. They said, I've lived here for 5 years, I've lived here for 3 years. No one's ever done anything.
Look at that.
Well,
so that's the thing. And then for the reviews, we're actually doing a raffle. People win something. So I'm doing $200 prize, 2 100s, a couple 50s, and then 4 25s. And we're phrasing it this way: if you go on Google and write something you like, something you love about the community, you'll be answered. The deadline's Friday. Go. So we'll let you
love it.
know how that goes. But gift cards, stuff to local restaurants. Beautiful. Send out every month, like, hey, we got a coupon to whatever pizza. But I'm operating a little bit on the lower end from where you guys are. But Beau's point, something was very interesting earlier that I believe deserves a double tap is, you wouldn't catch Vinny doing something like I'm doing these days. It's because he doesn't have to, right? I need to create this massive value. If I can't do 30 or 40% value add, I'm probably not going to do it at this point. But when, the next kind of chapter is doing deals that are B plus,
surely,
right?
Surely.
Like you're saying, the cap rates, they're not compensating the C's the way that they need to be anymore. Entry point.
You're so right about that, Phil. The cap rates have kind of leveled off. Yeah,
you might want to go up a property class because you're having a little less complexity, a little bit more appreciation, a fatter part of the demographic as far as, I'm serving the second quartile of income, basically 35 to 50,000, right? Not the very bottom and, on the low side of median, but you're on the high side of median, breaking into the top quartile. And I tell you what, I think that those might actually be the better plays. So Beau said it. I just wanted to provide my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, but they're also, not everybody can go out and raise $16 million, right? Like Vinny didn't start that overnight. So if I were to look at the opportunities, for the person that's, done flips, maybe owns a couple small multis right now. I mean, the mom and pops are the ones that are getting hammered. So, I mean, I think there's a play in that, for people that are getting started. But I think at the end of the day, real estate investing is a constant evolution, and you always are working towards getting up to. So at the end of the day, you want less hands-on, right? I mean, that's the real bottom line. Like the less you can worry about the property, and all you really have to do is look at your statement at the end of the month and say, oh, I just made, $5,000 from this property. I made 5 here. I mean, that's all that's everybody's real goal. I mean, is really to have it like that. So then they can work on projects they'd like to work on. Right. Like,
I totally agree what you're saying, Beau. I mean, the reason I'm able to do what I do in the last 12 years, or let's say 11 years, 12 years now,
you're frozen.
Structure that I put it in place. At the peak, we had 137 people full time in my organizations, in acquisition and management, accounting department, payroll, hiring, HR, asset managers, regionals, like that. We are 65 right now. So the thing is, you're right. By putting the systems in place, then I don't have to worry. My VP of finance, who is so special and learned, she's able to bring the things to me when I meet with her for 1 hour. She's done so much hours and hours of work. Then all as a CEO, I need to look at the bottom line numbers. You're right. So systems in place, definitely. Delegation is a big thing, which I've learned over the years, to give people who can do better job than me, because that's the only way to free my time to do the things that I should be doing, the visioning and the expansions and the new properties and things like that. Boy, it's been such a great time. Oh my gosh, Phil, we could go for hours and hours, buddy.
We will next week at Dealmaker, won't we?
We sure will. Thank you. No, it's
Is
such a
Dealmaker's all online? It's all virtual?
yeah, it's virtual. 3 days virtual. Coming next weekend, I think. Right? It's coming next weekend. Not this tomorrow, but
Yeah, not tomorrow. The 15th through the 18th.
yeah.
So,
Hey guys, anybody listening to us, please go ahead and check it out. Michael Blank's Dealmaker Live, and please be there. You will learn so much. I mean, Michael puts on a great show, and he's got great presenters like Phil and me and others, who'll be there along with great other, guests and presenters, and who are crushing it, except Grant Cardone. I don't think Grant is coming. I saw Grant actually in January, took a selfie with him. Can you believe it? I was in Orlando in one of the hotels, and he was passing by. I said, "Hey, Grant, hey, man." So he took my fat camera and we took a selfie. That was kind of fun. But he's 1.6 billion now with a B. But I know he's got a good heart. But at the same token, he's a little brashy also, as everybody knows. That's okay,
Different flavors for different folks.
Yeah, there are.
Smiles. Who
Yes.
smiles,
Phil, thank you so much for coming on the show, buddy. How can people come to you, or how can they reach you if they have some other questions? We would love to. Yeah.
So, I never have a good answer for this.
Okay.
I need to create better systems.
Hold on, time out, Phil. Vinny's got a digital agency. He'll build you a website like that.
I will build it overnight, Phil.
I took mine down because I wasn't happy with it.
Hold on. Oh my gosh, you would love us. Phil, and please send me your email address, and I will put you in touch with Ramesh. I don't do nothing anymore. He's the one who's doing everything. And Squeeze Pages, he's doing for so many of my guests. Squeeze Pages now, and they are getting business like crazy. People clicking on it for a lead magnet. They will even write the lead magnet for you and everything. So we'll do that. Yeah. And you will see so many people, coming in your lap. Uh-huh.
So how about this? How about this? Without a little self-promotion, where are we?
No. Yeah, go for it.
So last year I wrote a book, and I admittedly a little bit hard to get a hold of. But see, I have that one. I have it autographed, and it's great. Yeah, I learned so much from you, Vinny.
Oh my gosh. You're so special. You're so special. My new one is coming. Oh my gosh. My new one is coming in about a month. Positivity brings profitability. That's my next one. My third one is ready also, by the way. I'm just declaring to the world. That's on my senior living investing. We have written that book in 4 months. And then Beau and I are writing a book on lending made easy. Apartment lending made easy, which should be out, Beau, in next 2 months, I would say. So there'll be 5 books coming out very quickly.
So now I see why Beau invited me here to talk to you guys. So now I have the weekend to think about how small I'm thinking and how to fix it before I talk to you on Wednesday. Good.
Phil, it's such a pleasure, bud, and I'm so glad you came on the show. I thank you for that, and what nuggets you have given to the audience and everything. And I would love to have you and kind of catch up. How you scale up, and we wish you all the best in the world to expand, and also look into. I think it's good to be where you are, but also maybe look into if you can scale up there very nicely, why not, right? But I just went to Texas, Georgia, Florida, and I just felt like, my gosh, my world just opened up. So that's some other ideas.
What was your book
Alrighty,
called, Phil?
I've got
What's your book?
10:30, another show. Oh no, another meeting actually. I just got reminded. But no, let's do it. Go ahead, Bo.
What's your
Yeah.
book, Phil? What's the name?
Oh
So,
yeah.
Yeah, my book is Your VA Loan, Veterans Administration for the Military, and How It Can Make You a Millionaire. Because
Oh, that's awesome.
my mission is to help military members and veterans
Yeah.
actually free through real estate. So if you go on Amazon and read it for free on Kindle, or grab a paperback for like $10 and email me at
Oh.
philbuysapartments@gmail.com, hop on my calendar for half an hour or an hour, whatever. We'll probably keep talking like Vinny. We just talk, right?
Oh, that's.
But that's what I need. I need to get the message out. We've sold about 500 copies since November, so we're doing okay considering I haven't really marketed it. But maybe
Sure.
I'll talk to your guy, Vinny, about getting some real marketing.
Totally. I'll put you in touch today. He's in India, in Pune, India. That's where our company is. And he's giving so many great, reasonable prices. That's what I like. Because a lot of people saying branding, give me 10,000, give me 50. That's not crap, I mean, you could do it a smaller budget. That's what I want him to do. That's why he's Indian and all. And he's doing wonders for my guests and for me also. I mean, literally. Yeah.
Love it. Awesome.
All right.
Appreciate
Well,
it.
let's do this again, guys. And
Yeah, sure.
next time I'll do a line of cocaine so I have as much energy as Vinny.
Hey, I'm ready to have that too. It's legal now in California, buddy. So, Vinny likes to really live the life. We need to live the life to the fullest. I'm telling you. I hope that I'm talking like this when I'm 10 years younger. I never say I'm older. Next month, I'm going to be 1 year younger. I've been saying that because when you age 1 year, mentally you should go backward. So that's why I'll be 68 next month on 27th of August, and I'm so excited because life is there to really enjoy. It's a small short life. Let's make the best to everybody around us and everybody together. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Thanks, Phil, for joining us. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Investor Financing Podcast. For show notes and useful resources, please visit investorfinancingpodcast.com. For questions or comments, email info@investorfinancingpodcast.com. If you enjoy our show, please share it with your network. Until next time.